Hello, my name is Lynn. I am actually a 58-year-old female that until a month ago did not know that I had breast cancer. Went on vacation and had like a pea-sized little area on my right breast, and I have fibrocystic disease, so I didn't think nothing of it. But we were gone only a week and a half, and within that week and a half, the tumor had grew 14 by 9 inches. My whole purpose of this right now is getting it out to the younger women. All of the girls in my support group are in their 30s. And it's really sad because I had never heard of triple negative inflammatory breast cancer until this. I've heard of the HER2, which is responsive to hormone. Well, this one that I have is not. It is, there's like a 10 to 20% chance of getting it. It's rare. It is very invasive, and it is treatable. After it gets to a certain area, it's not treatable. It's incurable. At first, they thought mine was incurable, and then they scanned me and everything, and they found out that it was just stage 3. And when I say just, I don't say that lightly, because this triple negative breast cancer, so this one is a very aggressive, invasive breast cancer. It's actually a very scary one because it's harder to treat than the HER2, which is treatable with hormone therapy. This one is more treatable with immunotherapy and chemotherapy, and the harsh core chemotherapy. And when I say harsh core chemotherapy, it is the harder chemotherapy on you with, as far as side effects goes, but it is the better one. But they just cannot give you as much in a allotted time. The thing with me is, well, the thing, period, with this whole thing is that at some point, so they didn't waste no time, and the chemo was, it was just a rush kind of thing, and it was very, very overwhelming for me. I can imagine being in my 30s and having a 3, 5, 7-year-old kid and having to worry about that with them, knowing that at some point it's going to come back. Now, I do have 2 sons. One is 40 and the other is 32. My inners are gone, but I've already had my babies, so that didn't make no difference to me. But right now, I'm dealing with so much self-image problems that I wake up crying in the mornings. I go to bed crying at nights because my hair used to be long. I've had to cut it off, and the reason I cut it off as short as I did is so I could have some sort of control, because everything was out of control. Even though in the end chemo is going to win and it's going to take it. Then I'm going to have a double mastectomy. They're not going to be able to do immediate reconstruction because I'm going to have 4 more chemotherapies after that, and then 12 more rounds of radiation after that. And then after that, I have to wait another year before I can have reconstructive surgery, which at that time, it's going to be go into plastics, and that's not going to be something I can afford. That's not going to be something anybody can afford. There is definite more medical expenses, like my white count. If my white count gets to a certain point, they have to give me this shot. It's called Neulasta. One pop of it is over $6,000. If my red blood count, and my hemoglobin get a certain point, I have to have blood infusions. There's just so much to deal with this, but the main thing is get this word out to people, to the younger generation, because it's happening to them and they're not realizing it. It's just popping up on them like it did on me. And I would hate for that to have happened to me at that age if my children were that young. It would have been devastating. I mean, it's already devastating because I have 3 grandchildren too that I would love to see graduate and have children of their own. And I don't know that that's going to happen. This next chemo is going to be okay, but the one after that is going to be the really hard chemo that's going to cause a lot of the side effects. Heart palpitations. I'm already having the stomatitis, which is blisters in your mouth and stuff. Nausea, vomiting, I'm already having that. The medications that they give you are cardiogenic, which can cause heart palpitations and can actually cause heart problems. But they do try to get to you before that happens. They do echocardiograms periodically to make sure. There's just so much more into it. I'm just going to have to update you as it comes. This is really all I can give you right now because it's all I know. And I thank you for listening to me.